Well, hello there, YouTube. How the heck are you this beautiful Friday morning? Taking the street glide to work again today. Rode the Spider yesterday, and other than I think that the day after Kelly and I got back from California, the Spiders in the Redwoods event, I think I rode it the day I got the shocks in, so maybe that wasn't the same day. But I wasn't sure I could get the box and the saddlebag on this thing, which turns out it'd have been very easy. But yesterday I did a quick little video on it. I got the chrome windshield trim. You can actually see the chrome kind of shining there a little bit, and hopefully, and I'm praying this will work, you should be seeing, hopefully I got the camera sitting in the right spot, you should be seeing a little bit of a different view. I was able to, now I know this doesn't sound like much, but visually it can have a shocking difference, because where my chin mount is and where the side mount is, you're only looking about 3.5 inches. Well, with the side mount, you know, excluding the tinted shield that was on there, you can't see through, just sails over the fairing. I mean, you can see way over it. So I was able to manipulate the mount that I've had on there for, what, a couple of years now, ever since I got that. I hope that's just water in the road. That looks like a trail of oil or something. I'm not going to ride in it just to save myself for the ride to work here. But anyway, that little 1/2 inch, it'll make some difference. You think a 1/2 inch on that mount's not going to do anything at all, but I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised, actually. So I was able to get it lifted up that much without any, you know, redos. And the camera just clears my shield when it goes up and down. So there's no shield interference. The only slight annoyance to it is I can now see the camera in my peripheral. And I guess that's not all bad. I'm sure I'll get used to it. See if you get a side. Get your side profile of my shadow so you can see what it looks like, but it's no big deal. You know, I'm actually I'm running a little late, but I might just bomb along the river there. I was expecting it to be foggy this morning. That's why I was kind of teetering back and forth on whether I was going to take this or not, because I didn't want to get the bike all wet with fog. I thought it was going to be that way yesterday, but with the Spider, but hell, it turned out to be fantastic. But I came through here and I did a vlog last night as like a makeup vlog for the failed DR sunset ride, and oh god, it was beautiful. Why was I oh yes, oh, don't beat me, please don't beat me. Thank you, young lady. She gives me the guy's little head kick thing, like, yo. Old country ass girl. But it was just I stopped by the Longview store to pick up the windshield trim, which turned out to, well, I had to drop off a tool to my kid, and he gave me a replacement tool that I didn't even know was broken yet. He goes, Pops, he goes, I did that about a month and a half ago. I said, well, I haven't needed to use a 6x1mm tap on anything. He goes, you're kidding me. And I go, no, I don't know why. I said, it's really weird that you tell me and you give me this. He was replacing a tool he broke. And I said, it's really weird because I had a brand new 2015 that I in my haste, I got a little carried away and I burned the threads up on one of those little clip nuts. And I was going to chase the thing out, you know, which is usually fine. But I thought, you know what, it's brand new. You know, I've got plenty of these clips. I'll just pull this cover back out of the way, pull the speed nut out, and put another one back in, or a clip nut. So I put a new one in there. I said, you were this close to me, you getting a nasty text from me. He goes, phew. He goes, I dodged that bullet. I said, yeah? I said, that's weird. I had no idea you broke that thing. I said, so what about all the other tools you ruined, broke, and lost? He goes, now, come on now. I said, hell, I don't even remember all the ones now. He goes, well, that's good. He goes, sometimes it's good to be old. I said, geez, thanks, you little shit stain. All the cows are all lounging out. They're expecting a wonderful day. Speaking of which, it was like 51 when I got up this morning. It's 62 now. So when I left the house, it was, or as I was getting ready, it was 59. So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to wear my Harley coat and my fingerless gloves. And because it's supposed to get up to 95 today. Holy moly. It's going to get crazy warm. I mean, 95, considering what we went through this summer, is nothing, but it's more than it's been lately. I think yesterday in Vancouver it was like 87 or something when I was coming back, and that felt pretty hot. So, you know, you get yourself climatized to you know, the conditions that's normal around you, you know. You know how that goes. If it was 100 degrees every day, you would absolutely be used to it. In fact, I got used to it. I got to the point I didn't even complain about it anymore. It was just 100 degrees. I complained when it went to, you know, over 100. But anyway, it's you know, it's been hovering in the mid 70s, a very, very, very comfortable mid 70s. You know, we've kind of knocked around the 80 degree mark in the Vancouver area almost every day. Vancouver is always warmer. It's farther south. It's, you know, in a big metropolitan area which just generates its own heat, you know. All the population, the building, the massive automobiles. But anyway, it's supposed to be 90 I think here, 89 or 90 here in Toledo, and 95 in Vancouver. And it peaks at 5 o'clock right when I leave. It's going to be the peak of the day. It's an old Willys Jeep sitting there, wasn't it? So another side thing of getting this camera, and granted, we're only talking a half an inch, but in the grand scheme of things, you may be surprised what a half an inch difference will make. I mean, just look at the wholesale difference that 3.5 inches make. And I may even be measuring that wrong. It may be less than that, because it kind of depends on the angle of the helmet, you know. If I angle it, you know how your helmet's kind of going downhill, you know, so I may have measured it tilted too far, and it may be less than that in the real world of driving down the road. I didn't do anything scientific. I just kind of held up a ruler and roughly guessed, and kind of set it in there, and it looked like 3.5 inches. Maybe less than that, but amazing difference. A huge, just overwhelming difference. It's kind of shocking that they can make that much of a difference. Whoa there, bird, almost got you. That bird says, well, I wasn't expecting a motorcycle to come flying through here. I'm glad this guy finally did something with his Harley. He's got a garage there. I'm assuming the garage is just packed full of junk. But after years of sitting outside, it's probably got destroyed, or he sold it. I thought all the bugs were gone. I got one hanging out in the corner of my shield, and that thing will, the sun's to my left shining through that, so I'm gonna see that all the way to work, and it'll drive me nuts. But I hope we're fogging like right away too, so I hope the camera being a half an inch higher lets you see over the fairing a little bit better. That's just, though, these bikes have always had that look. It's kind of like sitting in the cockpit of a little plane or something is what it reminds me of, that high dash, you know. I mean, it's not to that extreme, but you know, it's that kind of a thing. Just the way they are. You either like it or don't like it. I personally like it. The only thing is a little bit of a challenge for a chin-mounted camera, and I'm not going to put one on top of my head. I do not like that look at all. The side mount doesn't completely bother me, because it does kind of give you that sense of like looking over someone's shoulder, you know. That's what my mom and Kelly say. They go, well, it reminds me of just riding behind you and looking over your shoulder. In fact, I don't think my mom likes the chin mount. She prefers the side mount. I think she told me something changed and I don't feel like I'm looking over your shoulder anymore. I go, yeah, it changed where the camera was, you know. But Andy Gahoo, I don't want to make a long vlog going to work. So, yeah, new camera mount, not much of it. I mean, literally it's just a different post on it that kicks it up. So it was no big feat, you know. I didn't want to dismount and remount this thing. In hindsight, how I mounted it in a way that the camera is like ultimately adjustable for, you know, all the different, you know, the two axes. Actually, yeah, the two, because I have made the mistake of mounting them in a way that you're limited and you end up not being able to get the full angle that you want. In fact, the side mount, I had to spend forever carving the little grooves in the GoPro mounts to get it to bend farther straight. Man, I studied and studied and studied before I finally stuck her down. You know, decided where I want it and stuck it down. Then when I did it, damn, the camera was sitting at a slight angle. If you look at those very first videos, that was a half file. The later videos, it was a full file. I thought I had it enough, and I'm looking at the videos kind of going, you know, I'm going sideways down the road. But anyway, there's a much simpler way to do this, but you have to be very, very careful, because once you mount it, if you're off horizontally, it's there's no fix for it, because everything's going straight. You only have one axis to adjust the camera. You know, what I have is a J mount going sideways, and then two ones mounting to it, so it's fully adjustable. And that's the reason I did it that way. It looks kind of overcomplicated and overdone, and it probably is. But I have that adjustability. But the other problem is, and I've gotten used to it to a point now that I never do it. But when I first put it on the chin, you know, you're not used to something hanging off the chin of your helmet, so you tend to bump it. You're not so aware of it being there. You know how that side mount, you know, you duck under a bush or you go past something, like just walking through your house with your helmet on, you'll bang it off a door or something, or a corner of a wall, because you don't realize you pass by things so close, because you know your house, and you know you take the path of least resistance, bam, you'd catch that camera. Sure as hell, it'd knock the thing off, so you'd have to open up your app and, you know, get it all adjusted right. So I've gotten so used to it being there, not hitting it, I actually use their Yamaha bolts, just scrap bolts that I find around for different accessories, where you know, it's an accessory that fits multiple bikes. So you end up with this hardware that that's not used for the particular bike you're putting it on. Anyway, super high quality stainless steel bolts. Allen heads are the kind of button head Allens, nice flush mount. I have those in the axes where where it's pretty much where I make my one adjustment. If I need to make an adjustment, it's a 4mm Allen, and loosen it and then tighten it back down. But the problem with that is if you do hit it and you're on the fly, you can't very easily adjust it. But I got a Leatherman that has a little, that I keep in a little case, and has different little bits, and I have the bits inside there. In fact, I even fixed the guy's Cena 20S at Spiders in the Redwoods using that thing. And that's a little tiny. I think it's like a 2.5mm Allen or something. But yeah, with a Leatherman tool, it's amazing what you can accomplish with those little things. They're spendy. The tool is the multi knife or whatever. But man, and go for the best one. Don't go for the cheap one. At the time, I haven't even looked at Leatherman. I'm sure they got other cool things. You know, they're always coming up with something. I have the Wave, I think it's called, with the titanium side plates. I think that thing was over $100 on eBay or something back when I bought it. Man, what a fantastic tool. Blades and everything are super high quality, and at first, you know, the little interchangeable bits that, you know, they got one of the little arms that pop out. Man, that truck up here, it's got the loudest tires, and it's like the sound is echoing back at me, and I'm like, is that me making that sound? It's this silver Ford up here. But anyway, now that I've used the different blades and the little interchangeable bits that you can stick in there, I love it. I just couldn't imagine. That thing saved me so many times. And the bit kit I bought has so many bits, I can't carry them all with me. So I went through and picked all the common Torques and Allens, and of course you got the different size Phillips and flat blades and stuff like that. So it makes the tool ultimately adjustable. And I got I forget, something Knight or something. I'll do a review on that one of these days. But it has a deal for a little slot for my rechargeable, just a little mini flashlight that's super powerful. Excuse me. And I have that, this really cool multi-pin. Back in the days of the old touch screens, where you had to use a plastic stylus on them, Palm Pilots, Pocket PCs, and things of that nature. It has a stylus. It doesn't work on any of the new stuff, but it has a stylus and a pencil, and I think it's just one ink. So it's an ink, pencil, and stylus, and so I keep that in there. And then the Leatherman slides in its pouch, and the little bit set. Come on, guy. You need to lay off your phone or something there. He's yo-yoing back and forth. Jesus. Put that thing in cruise control. He's going fast, he's going slow. He's going fast, he's going slow. And he's in the rumble strips. He's yo-yoing all over the place here. It amazes me that the people that are just absolutely insistent on texting on their phone while they're driving down the road, or driving along talking on your phone. In Oregon, it is a $500 fine if they catch you talking on your phone. That's what it needs to be here. See, somebody like this is dangerous. I mean, that's the guy they'll be looking at his phone and just run you right over. Look at him. Now he's slowed down to less than 70. Back into rumble strips again. What an idiot. Just get the hell out of it. And that's the other thing too, is they do that and then ride in the fast lane. So they're holding everybody up. They live in their own world. You are not the only person on this planet, guy. You are affecting people. But what are you gonna do? So this is that really bad choppy part of the freeway, and which I think I haven't used any of these vlogs, but with the stock shocks, I would really be like, and you still get a little bit of that, but nothing like the stock shocks. And I've had some people. Here we go. I'm another 5 miles down the road and still haven't let go. But I've had people go. Actually, quite a few people. I get emails and even comments directly on the videos. They're going, "What is it with Harleys? You spend all that money, and the first thing you gotta do is change everything to make them right." No. You guys, you know, they say, well, I went in and bought my Honda or my Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki, whatever, and I've never had to change anything. You don't understand. There's nothing you have to change on a Harley. Harleys are the same way, and I bet you the majority of them sold are completely stock in every way. We get them in used all the time with, varying miles, some of them crazy high miles, stock exhaust, stock suspension, everything stock. Harleys are just like a Japanese bike. You don't have to change anything. The problem with Harleys, and it's not a problem, but a problem for you, the owner, is there's more accessories and tweaks and options for Harleys than any other motorcycle ever made. The accessories available for Harleys are absolutely endless. There is no end to it. Well, if you do any poking around, you'll see people that's done this and, oh, this made this better and it made that better. You can find the same thing on the Japanese bikes, on all of them. Whatever bike you have, just type that thing in and you'll find a vlog somewhere. If you have a Suzuki 650 Gladius, just type that in and you'll find a forum where they've done this with the suspension, they put this kind of fairing, they did this kind of exhaust. There's like no end to what you can do to them. It's not in your face as much as it is on a Harley. And what I like to say, the people that talk to me about that, I said, owning a Harley and screwing around with it, which, I'm one of these people that I like to leave things stop, but then I like to personalize too, I jokingly say, I said, when you buy a Harley, it's almost a rite of passage to immediately do stuff to it. It's just one of those things. Nothing needs to be done. They're absolutely perfectly fine. This thing was perfectly fine with the stock exhaust, with the stock shocks. It just, Harleys just have such a unique sound, you want to hear it. I don't want them loud, mind you, but you just want to hear it. And they just have such a pleasing sound when you just open them up a little bit. And suspension, that's just this thing was perfectly fine the way it was. In fact, it had the Harley premium shocks on it, so it was actually nicer than a standard street glide. But I made a mistake of riding that damn Ultra, and the longer travel suspension, that thing was so pleasant. I thought, you know what, I want my street glide to ride just like this. And I was perfectly happy with this thing before. I feel it took me a bit to find my spot for the suspension. And it's infinitely adjustable on the stock shocks. But anyway, I just want a plusher ride, and that's why I changed that. And the other things, like the shield's perfectly fine. But in those conditions where I'm in a headwind, to me, my stature and how I sit on it, it would rumble on the top of my helmet, kind of drive me nuts. And my problem is I overthink that stuff. You know, if I, like plenty of times I drove home vlogging, bouncing away through that headwind, never gave it a thought. If I don't stop and think about something, it never irritates me. But there again, I rode that stupid Ultra with that big tall screen, and that thing's, you know, like riding a full-fledged touring bike. I didn't want to go to that extreme with the shield, but that was so pleasant to ride behind. It's quiet and comfortable, and so I wanted to kind of keep a low profile, but yet I wanted to be more functional. It's just, you know, things you do. You don't have to change anything on them, just like the Japanese bikes. It kind of cracks me up, the people that aren't into Harleys see everybody doing these things, because I mean, there's just a million forums out there, and there's just no end to people doing stuff to their Harley. So people falsely get this impression that, you know, you go out and lay, you know, top dollar down for a Harley, and the first thing you have to do is change everything. No. You don't have to change anything. Leave it stock. It'll live forever, and you'll enjoy it the whole time. But my advice to you is don't go poking around too much, because you'll see all the things you can do, and you'll go, hey, I want to try that. Ooh, look at them pretty shocks. I want them on my bike. Ooh, look at that little chrome accent thing. I want to put that on there, you know. There's just no end to the goodies for these things, and that's what people are doing. You know, and everybody likes to personalize their bike. Nothing you have to do. It's just personal choice. So that's that for that. And I'm going to get a fuel light here pretty soon, which is going to be really special, because when I get off work, I don't have time to stop and get gas on the way to work. So in 95-degree weather, I'm going to be stopping to put gas in this thing in Vancouver, which makes it even worse. And it's hotter than hell. I'll be sweating like a stuck pig. So I am going to let you go this time, because I'm getting into traffic and I need to be concentrating more on this. And if I do try to vlog and drive in traffic, I sound like a blubbering idiot. So like, you know, you got too many things going on in your head. You can't carry on the conversation. Dang it. Something whacked me in the knee. Why does it always hit you in the kneecap? It's just like it's aiming for it. A little rock, piece of gravel or whatever, bam, right in your kneecap. And wearing these work pants, these little thin, dicky work pants. That's the name brand of them, by the way. I'm not trying to be weird. But anyway, they're very thin, and you feel every little speck that hits you. I do have concerns of, you know, someday getting off wearing these things, because that's going to hurt. I think these things are, you know, like the first step above wearing shorts. But gotta let you go. So we'll talk to you later. We'll talk to you tonight, and you guys have a wonderful day. And if by chance you're watching this on a Friday, as this is a Friday, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Otherwise, have a fantastic day, and we'll chit-chat with you later on. Thanks for watching now. Take care.